Do you see any catastrophic natural disasters happening in 2024?
Yeah, a lot of them. It is going to happen. It is happening right now.
And also something in the Netherlands?
Netherlands is a lucky place. She said, "How do you know my name and my address?" I said, "I received it in the dreams."
Wow, so it's actually every night you have the dream and you write it down.
Yes.
So how was it for you to live with that?
Well, terrible. 70% get to real.
Oh, so from the 100% of the dreams, 70% will happen.
Yes, will happen. We need to open the people's mind and give them opportunities. That's why I'm trying to do my best in this situation that I could see in the future to turn it to goodness. I'll stop that.
Did you know by Lady Diana that she was going to be assassinated?
Yes, I received that message and read down for her.
Do you feel positive?
Yes, I'm optimistic and positive.
Yeah.
90% I'm positive,
Because you say that there will be a new virus kind of situation. Do you know when? Hey guys, welcome to the Trueman Show. Today the intro will be in English. And the reason for that is that we recorded a podcast with Jucelino da Luz. He's from Brazil. He's one of the biggest psychics in the world. He predicted a lot of the big stuff that happened in the last couple of years, like 9/11, the whole COVID situation, and way more. Today we sit down and had a talk about everything that he predicted, obviously, but also everything that he predicted for now in the future and all the stuff that is coming, but maybe more important so, what can we do to change the dark predictions that he has about the future to make it more bright? And what can we do to heal not only ourselves, which is super important, but also by healing ourselves, heal the planet and heal the world. Super interesting stuff. I hope that you're going to like it. And if so, please share the podcast on your social media and with your friends. And also you're doing me a great favor by subscribing on a channel where you're watching at this moment. So subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify or Apple. Also, please write a review for us and drop in the comments what you think of the podcast. And if you have a suggestion for a guest, please drop that in the comments as well. Obviously, we will read it. For now, please enjoy listening this podcast.
Yeah, because the situation of Brazil is totally different of other countries. Brazil, in this aspect, is very open, and you can talk about everything. People are very concerned. Most of them, part or not, they are learning, they are researching, making some. They are in the research and also search for something different for them to grow, or increase something in private things, That's why Brazilian people are very nice in this aspect. In this aspect, we are living in a place where it has a lot of Europeans, Asiatic, Africans, and the history is very huge.
Rich history, yeah. And because what's the name of the president again? Who, not this one, but the one before in Brazil?
Jair Bolsonaro.
Yeah. So what's your opinion of him?
Well, politics is not my part, but I tell he said they done something good for the country. That's why 85% of people there want him back.
Yeah.
But of course I don't have nothing against this actual present one, and this is the way we are living there.
Yeah, because I know when Bolsonaro was in power in Brazil, like in the media here in the western parts of Europe, they all, just the same as with Trump, they were all speaking bad about him and writing bad articles about him and stuff. But then always when the Western media is doing that, I'm like, okay, probably it's not that true. And probably there's also a different side on the man as well, because otherwise he wouldn't be that popular in Brazil.
Yes, he is very popular. When he makes some manifestation, people goes with him, a lot of them. And another aspect, of course, he was a good president for us. I am now 64 years, I never seen in my country some governors like him. You know, I have been for many times voting, and I have never seen like it. And that's why people has some hope for changing. Of course, I respect the orders that he has come to us, but in this condition, I think the governor make one print inside, one stamp for people to believe, you know, different way.
Did you, because you speak with a lot of governments around the world, right, about all the things that you see that will happen in the future and stuff, did you speak with them as well?
Yes. A lot of them. That's why I don't like these issues when you talk about politics, because I respect all of them. And all the time, all the country I have been, I was respected too much and welcome. And that's the way I prefer not to involve in this situation, because it's not my case. It's not my business to lead with it. I love it. When you ask me question about, I can answer. Is my opinion and also the spiritual. But I tried not to say who is the guilty or not, who is best or not, because this is not my way to work, you know. But of course, we like some of them. We have some preference in our heart, but we don't like it to tell a lot about this, because Brazil is different also. If you tell about some politics, others is like one football team. They don't like you and start to attack you, you know? This is the way to live.
Yeah, but you in your books, you write about a lot of stuff, what could happen or what happens to the world, and it's not always light. It can also be quite dark. I think in this podcast series, I talked with a lot of people who have different opinions on that darkness, on how that comes to the world. But I think most of them talk about how a lot of politicians know what they're doing and actually causing the dark stuff that is happening to us. Like, for example, COVID. Do you think that the same?
I think this is the same, but I try to find the word, exact word, softly and also very clear to them. And in other aspect, in this sense, I can bring them some good information that it can also prepare them to protect themselves and not cause panic or cause some people to be scared in that situation. I try to be very clear in my words, and also not to bring fear for them. This is not my business. I try to be very spiritualize this situation, that people can be more prepared to face anything and overcome.
Yeah. So it's like we said before the cameras were rolling, like it's not easy always to talk about the dark stuff, what is going on or what's potentially going to happen. But it is good though, if you know what's going to happen, so you can, prepare yourself for what's going to happen, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are in the world, the universe is like this. We are in the world that is divided. We have the positive, you have the negative. Depend the way you work on it, you can be very good in your life, you know. So we try to take that negative for people, but with one accents that you can take only this for your use. And you transform it to goodness. This is my aspect surround the negative and positive. Positive, it's not necessary to take for the people, because it is happy. It's good for them. So we try to bring this conditional thing that can people use them, this information, even negative is, to transform for their life and to be more concerned.
Do we need the negative?
We don't need the negative, but if unfortunately, it's impossible to avoid it, because the universe lives for that, or is light or is darkness. Light, positive; darkness, negative. So it's impossible you avoid, because in all environments we have a negative and positive. It's depending how you absorb that inside your brain. And your system nervous, you conduct it to goodness or to bad.
Yeah, because I also it's duality, right? Like you have light, you have darkness. But like in some extent, you could say that without the darkness, you're not really experiencing the light as well. So you could say you need the darkness to feel the light, or the other way around as well. I don't know.
We don't need the darkness or the negative, of course. But in this planet, we live with it. You cannot avoid it. Every part of the world, we have this two aspects, negative or positive. For the positive, you cannot do too much to yourself. But with the negative, you can do a lot of things that can transform your life for goodness, more than you have.
Good. So maybe it's good because the people are listening, probably the most of them are Dutch, so they maybe not really know who you are until now. So maybe it's nice to look into your story a bit, because you predicted a lot of big things that were happen or that happened at the end. Like, for example, let me see. Well, 9/11 was one of them, right?
Yeah.
COVID, you predicted that as well. Some big major stuff. But maybe before we're going to talk about that, it's nice to hear a bit on how did you develop the skills to predict those events?
Yeah. It's one gift that I received in 1969. It was the first dream. It's like it to be astral trip, I'm not see the things. I am there. And independently the language, dependent the place, I go there and capture all the things necessary to me, turn out to a letter. Then I write down this letter and send to authorities, common people, and everywhere. This is, I have at night is 1 until 9 dreams, and one day I have nothing. Just one day. So 6 days a week I have dreams, 1 to 9.
Since 1969. 1969. So since 1969, you've been having dreams every night except for one night a week.
Yeah.
And then the dreams, you write them down?
Yeah, I wrote everything that I receive, I write down and transform them in letters. Of course, I do different of people to try not to scare, but to give the detailed information, the precise one, to people take some step to avoid. This is my way. And until now, I have a little bit 110,000 letters written all over the world.
Wow! So it's actually every night you have the dream and you write it down.
Yes.
So it's almost every dream is something that will happen in the future.
Yes. From 100%, 70% get to real.
Oh, so from the 100% of the dreams, 70% will happen.
Yes, will happen.
So, but then in 1969, that means that you were quite young when this happened. How was it for you to live with that?
Well, terrible. Yeah, the situation was not a lot of comprehension for the part of parents because they didn't understand the situation. But after that, he was developing this situation more frequently, and then had to understand. Then we go to doctors, to many other parts, to examination. A lot of things was done. But for the one that he told my family that he was prediction was one psychologist. And then wrote down for my family that there is no way to escape from that because it was not our choice, So I start to send letters for the people. And for the people audience understand, 85% of these letters written is for common people, and others is for the authorities to something that happened. And my proposal is that people can change something in their life. Most of them were changing for positive.
Yeah. So can you remember what the first thing was that you dreamt about which actually came true?
Yeah, the first one I know is one family, for example. There is a family involved in this dream in 1969, the first one, that we're going to have one crash between one truck and one car called Brasilia. And in 1969, this car was not fabricated yet. And we haven't this car. And was in 1973 when happens the dream, when that unfortunately ceased the life of this family, 4 people. And there was a crash that unfortunately they passed over.
And you read that in the news?
Yes. All the news spread. My mama was scared because she said, oh, she didn't understand why did it happen that.
You told your mom about the dream?
Yes, because my mama led me to this area where we had to go to one house and call the person to receive this message. Was the first.
Wow.
Yes, it was hard for my mama and for me because this family, this woman that came, she said, how do you know my name and my address? I said, I received it in the dreams and I have wrote down that for you because it's important to you. But this woman also conclude, we do not have cars. We didn't have cars. My husband worked very hard, but yet we don't have cars. But in 1973, they bought one new car that was Brasilia. And with this car, unfortunately, they lost their life.
Well, but you told them a couple of years earlier then?
Yeah, we take the message for them personally, you know. My mama took me there.
Okay. And so then after that, you dreamt like every night, or six nights a week?
6 days a week at night, I have dreams, 1 until 2, 9. And then I have it to transform in letters. And that is the message, the spiritual message that I send all over the world.
And can you tell me some of the big stuff that you dreamt about and then which happened actually later?
Well, some of them, that is Lady Diana death. We had the earthquake in Indonesia, 2004.
With the tsunami.
Tsunami in Japan. World Trade Center, as you had a comment about this. And a lot of them, very important. And one specific was Indonesia that the ambassador sent the letter back, the answer. And later, after this happens, he called me to go there to meet in private session with all authorities that came from Indonesia to Brazil embassy to meet me there. And we talk about something like Jakarta and other things that would happen in the future line. And
did you, because you also, Lady Diana, she wrote you back also, right?
Yes, it's in this a lot of information about Diana, and she later sent other letter by the secretary to invite me to go to England in the castle to meet her. But in that time, I was teacher. I could not to take my license because it's a little bit difficult for myself. And then the things happen like you see in the newspapers. Yeah. That she died in the assassinated. Yeah, that's good to talk about that, right? Yeah. And so I mean, a lot of these things. Did you know by Lady Diana that she was going to be assassinated? Yes. You already saw that, so you didn't really saw only her dying part, but also that she would be assassinated. It was. I have written in my letter. It's not. I'm not here to say who is guilty or not. This is not my business. But I received that message and read down for her, you know. And she answered me back. She invited me to go there to talk a little bit more close. But in that circumstance, I was teacher in Brazil, and for me it was difficult to go. Yeah. I had a lot of things to do, and it's difficult to do this way.
And did you see, when you predicted 9/11, did you see, because a lot of people say it's an inside job, so that Bush did it himself, or well, not himself, but his administration and the whole agenda behind that. Did you see that as well?
Well, this subject is difficult. I say something about it here in the place because there is a new law created by them, and the Congress is running now. If you tell something different, you'll be condemned and convicted, and also to pay $10,000.
Is it?
Yes, it's running right now in the Congress.
So you can't say anything bad about 9/11 anymore.
Yes,
that's what that's a new bill that they're passing.
Yes, that they create that. But I can say to you, it was 134 letters sent to try to stop this happening.
Yeah, because that is what I a question that arose as well, is that when you write a letter to the government who is maybe doing the event that's going to happen themselves, obviously they're not going to listen because they're doing it themselves. So it's not.
This is the way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I have to write down. Even they like or not, I send the letters. Okay, not to judge them, as I told before. I am not to say who is guilty, who is the better, who is the best or not. So I write the message. Really, I receive it. I don't care if that person will be the guilty, of course, in the future. But I tell to try to avoid or try to concern that situation, that case, to turn out to other direction, another one.
Aren't you afraid a bit that if you will... if you would tell this information to people, yeah, and it's, for instance, it's some people who are planning to do it, and by you telling about what's going to happen, maybe you can change the outcome. Aren't you afraid a bit that people won't like the fact that you're telling it?
Yes, this is a problem that we have, So you must be soft and easy, because this is I can be involved in that. I don't want to be involved in that. Only the situation I would like to be involved is to protect those who are involved in this situation, to give them opportunity to escape from that situation by free will. Other subjects, other thing, I cannot be involved with.
So that's why it's safer to not talk about who's doing different kinds of stuff, maybe.
Yes, because it's difficult for myself. I have a family, and I don't want to involve my family in my business. In this case, a spiritual one, but it can do some harm for them, So, but I do my best, of course. In such point, I'm committed with the fact that I came with the free will of those receive this message to change the life or change some points that can preserve the life of those involved.
Did you also predict the whole COVID situation in the last couple of years?
Yes. COVID was, the first letter was sent in a long time ago, but in 2018, I sent a letter to Dr. Lee, is from one hospital in China, and tried to alert him, but unfortunately he has passed away. And of course, my intention was to protect the people that and virus would come. Outbreak came also and caused a lot of problems for human beings.
Because I did a lot of research on the whole COVID situation as well. And I'm at a certain point, I'm not quite sure if there's even they made up a whole situation around it, and they did a lot of marketing campaigns around it and stuff. But I'm not quite sure that there was even a virus to begin with. You know what I mean? Is it can you see the possibility even that's true, or do you just see it happen that something big will happen around, let's say, a virus, and then
let's understand the situation. There was one study in the United States of America and China about the COVID, and not this aspect. that they would like to spread all over the world. But it happened, that situation, that unfortunately there was one leaking, that from this hospital, that he was very damaged and also caused harms for people in a free air, and it started to spread all over the world very fast. And though quickly situation brought to people this discomfort. But many people believe that was created, this virus. I think it's natural because we have this already, and it can spread very easy, But the condition of this virus is 13% death, cause a mortal situation for people. But it's as very problematic thing. Stuff, that we can notice judge in this situation that was created or not, My proposal was to stop, but they didn't. A lot of university has received my letter about this before. Others authority receive worldwide, World Health Organization. Others receive before it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, because I ask because I think what I noticed the last couple of years is that a lot of things that happened like on a big scale. Well, I don't know, most of the time, but a lot of times it's not really happening. It's just the fact that they use the media, that they do like it's happening, but like if you look close, nothing is really happening. Like also in COVID, like mortality, if it's even true, it wasn't even like bigger than like a normal flu, right? So it's like sometimes, or a lot of times, it's not really like they're pretending like there's a lot of stuff going on, but then it's not really that much, and it's just to make us scared of the potential of or not even the potential, but scared of the happening.
Yeah, in some situation, in some facts or stocks, I agree with you, and some of them has not a very good intention with the people all over the world. I know, but some other things, it is real, some other. But I agree with you in some aspect. You are right. Of course, there are a lot of people that don't want to work for mankind. No. They want to destroy, so it's possible.
So what do you think of, maybe it's nice to hear a bit on what do you think that will happen in the next coming years? Because if you can say anything, in the last years, a lot of stuff happened. So it's good to know a bit on what you think will happen in the future too.
Yeah, we have a lot of things a problem for the human being, and that it has to face. In the case of a virus that is coming out to be outbreak, like Marburg, Nipah, others dangerous, and besides that, some bacteria that is difficult to resist, and other things that according to the climate change, that some people don't believe in this issue, but now you can see perfect well. Is just to look around, you see the problems that we have to face in the future. This is one thing that people prepare themselves, because it's impossible to avoid. What you can do, minimize the problems. This is my proposal. We can minimize the problems and also reduce the effects.
So let's start with, because you say that there will be a new virus kind of situation. Do you know when?
I know a lot of them. The next to us, unfortunately, if they do nothing, will be in 2025.
This next year.
Yes, I wrote a book about this and sent to a lot of authorities that is involved in this case. I hope they do something really to stop and to avoid, so this, or to reduce this impact, the next impact to avoid the lockdowns or something like that. This is my real case is to try to, in this aspect, protect people in some way, somehow, and with their free will, they can see and look for the best step to take.
And is there in that virus next year, do you see also lockdowns and stuff coming again?
Well, depending of the situation next year in June up on. It's dependent the situation of themselves. If they take some steps, or these authorities that I send the letters, maybe can minimize or stop it. If not, this epidemic can turn out to pandemic 2026 a little bit. And I do not like this situation because can destroy people, and also lockdowns come again. This is not good for the people, No. That's why I'm trying to do my best in this situation that I could see in the future to turn it to goodness or stop that,
And what is it that we can do ourselves? Because I'm not like I said, I think that if something like that will come again, then it would be the governments and everything behind the governments who are doing it themselves. So they're not going to stop it. So then the only people who can stop it are the people themselves.
Yeah, but people cannot stop it. That depend on the way. You are thinking about is people can protect themselves and also to not to repeat the same way you had it before with the COVID-19, because there is a lot of things that is strange. So I don't want to go to this point here because it's a long term talking. But we can tell to the people we must act differently that we had been before. So it's a possibility to reduce the impact. Yes, a lot of the steps that can be taken for the people and also the authorities can be reduced the impact, or depend on the country that is involved, like Serbia and Madrid, Spain, can be not come out. This is what I would like to see.
Yeah, but what are the things that we can do then?
First of all, protect ourselves, and if you because of this. This disease, Marburg, is the class of Ebola, different. The mortality, the percentual of mortality is 88%. It's not like a COVID-19 that was 0.13%. Different way. Well, we can protect ourselves and look for the doctor to ask some complex B to protect your stomach. Yes, you can have one prescription if you want, and do some procedures to protect your family. This is the best way,
Yeah. Yeah. So, like with the last COVID situation as well. That's what, like, if you believe there was a virus, the good thing that you could do is be as healthy as you can be to avoid it.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's super important to look at the fact that, for instance, with COVID-19, that it was all bullshit.
Listen to me. The problem of COVID causing mortality is there is a lot of information, important one that we can talk with the people here and your followers, of course. It's necessary to understand the COVID was the wrong way because we have not in the world some health education. We have not in schools, we have not in university, health education for the people. It's necessary to create this, to protect people, because people was very scared in that situation. All the time they were pushed out about some situation that they have to get home, stay home, or to die. There is no choice for them. But we have a third line for them. That was drink vitamin C and zinc and D vitamin to protect more the family. And they had no the chance to defend themselves. That was the lacking of the world. And they choose the wrong people to make stop it. The health people to stop it. And you have to look in any of the pandemic situation, we have not to look at the health people. You have to look at the people that is infected. This is the right way. You stop the infected, not the health people. And it was doing this many times, So this is a wrong way to do the things, that cause more mortality.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
Yeah. Now, Bolsonaro, I know Bolsonaro, at a certain point, he was talking about ivermectin, wasn't he? Like one of the alternative medicines which were like forbidden in Europe, I think also in Brazil, that the doctors couldn't prescribe any ivermectin, which was really, really working well on people with like illnesses and stuff, eh?
Yeah, he was criminalized for that.
Yeah.
That run the risk also to be convicted by this situation, And that's a problem we have in the world. They strike one back, all the time arguing, and not to give a solution for the human being. This is the problem of the system causes to us, because they don't have interest. I don't say every politician that I don't want to judge them. But this system leads to one way that you only destroy. They don't give you opportunity to people or teach people to defend themselves. Only create some situation to people after met to be scared.
Yeah.
This is not the way, You can have a lot of solution to protect the world, And also a lot of solution to give people to protect their family at home. And this is important, that you not bring for us some kind of education, health education that can you have some lessons to protect yourself and also your family with the alternative treatments and other thing, So this is a real difficulty, and this system that creates some way just to blockade people. We need to open the people mind and give them opportunities that we have not now.
Don't you think that the big problem is the pharmaceutical industry as well? Also because mostly because they want to earn a lot of money, and in the case of, for example, ivermectin, they can't earn any money on that medicine because it's already free and everyone can buy it like cheap. And because I think you have an opinion on the vaccines as well, or not?
Listen, the first I take this water here is a glass of water. If I don't drink this water, how can I give it to you, this water? I work with this simple metaphoric way to speak. It's easy. The labs had done some vaccine, experimental. Listen, one exactly vaccine is take at least 10 years testing. But if you have this, you drink yourself something good, you can offer for others. But if you don't offer to others good things in your home, you don't drink that. So happens with the all labs. What did they bring it to you? They bring one vaccine, experimental one, but the list of the effects were very, very, very great. And then people don't read it and had the vaccination. And they offer to you, but they don't use it. This is the problem, That is I use in this metaphorical way to you understand. For me, when I give you the water I drink, I can share with the others. Yeah. If I don't drink this water, it's because it's dangerous for people.
Yeah. If it's not good for you, you shouldn't give it to other people as well, eh? But did you predict as well? Because a lot of people now, that's the well, not weird, but that's a thing, right? A lot of people are dying after taking vaccinations. And obviously they're not honest about it in the media and stuff, but you can see an increased people dying now after the whole vaccinations and stuff. Did you predict that as well? Did you see that as well?
Yes, of course. This is in my included. I had one book of a real history of the COVID-19 because I had some experiences before, and I can tell you, if you had vaccination, I can teach you simple things that it can be useful to you disintoxicate your life. Is grandmama tea. One grandmama tea is just you to drink in your home and to protect your family that you was vaccinated. It's easy to do. I can teach you here. You use anise, you know anise?
Yeah.
Very easy to find. And peppermint. You just mix both and drink in the morning 100 milliliters. This is good for you to disintoxicate your body about many things. 70% is guaranteed for you to disintoxicate the vaccine.
Wow, because a lot of people also saying that you can't, if you took it, that there's almost nothing you can do to get it out of your system, out of your body. But you said there are some stuff that you can do.
Yes, this is a cleaning for your body.
Yeah.
You know, it's very simple to do, and you can be protected of these results afterward.
So, what do you think? Because you say that a lot of stuff is going to happen. Can you tell us a bit more what potentially is going to happen as well in the near future?
Yeah, the most important problem that we have is something that causes us discomfort, and my intention is to make people be concerned. I don't know if the world is going to the same way, but reduce the pollution, because this is even people knows the situation, but they know a part of it. We have a lot of problem worldwide. I mean, making some maps to people, free to them, about the situation of the floaters that we have all over the world.
Floods, like the water floods. Yeah.
Yes, water floods. And it's starting to feeling. In Brazil, for example, we have areas that will be affected with that. Here also will be in the future, and other areas all over the world will be affected. This is the most important thing to people be concerned now. We need some protection. We need to stop the pollution in such a way that we can reduce the impact for the world. This is most important thing that I have.
A lot of people also are saying that, like, because you see a lot of floods. That's true. Also in the Netherlands, you saw some floods last year. In Brazil now, I think there's some floods happening as well. Right?
Yes, all over the world. All over the world.
But also here, because I'm not a big believer in like climate change kind of situations. But yeah, you can see the nature-wise stuff going on. I'm not quite sure if it's like because of the way we are behaving on this planet. But a lot of people are saying that the governments and stuff, that they are making these kind of nature, like the floods, for example, to help their agenda, so to speak. Because obviously climate change is like a big thing, right? Everyone is talking about climate change, and that we are the ones supposed that we were that we are the problem behind climate change, we as a people. But I don't believe that though.
Yeah, I respect you, but I can say that we started this process in 1928 until now. We didn't stop yet because evolution of industry and many other facts. I think the responsibility of it all over the world is 60%, 40% is natural process. But unfortunately, it is going to happen. And step by step is evolutive situation, and we cannot avoid. but we can minimize the problems in the future. Of course, it's difficult to believe in right now because situation is still are good for everyone. But it is going to happen. It is happening right now. You can see in many parts of the world, you can see United States of America is one big example. Brazil, in South Brazil is a big example. Other area of France is a big example. And England is a big example. We have this condition that show us that you need to wake up for another conscience, I don't want the people be afraid of that. We can change together. United people can be very important to have some solution for these happenings that we wanted. We do not want it happen, but unfortunately is the process step by step going on.
But I mean, if for I don't say it's the truth, but let's say it's the truth that, I don't know, let's say, because like the floods in Dubai, yeah? What's that, 2-3 weeks ago or something? It's out in the open that what the thing that caused the floods were the cloud seeding that was the government doing themselves. Okay, well, that's out in the open because it's Dubai and, they want rain every now and then because otherwise it's just a desert and they need rain. So they make it themselves, which is an absurd idea. But they do it. But like if the problem would be if a high percentage of all the nature disasters that are going on now in the world or are happening now, if like a high percentage of that was caused by the governments themselves or the people behind that, I don't care, then the solution isn't really that we should change what we're doing right now. The solution is that the government should stop doing what they're doing by creating those problems in nature, isn't it?
Yes, but let's turn back to Dubai. It's impossible one government that loves the place as this man loves to destroy the area and produce rain, to destroy the whole area. He is constructing many things, good, beautiful things. It is impossible to believe in this in such a way because no one can create some area very beautiful than Dubai is. And also to create rains to destroy the same that he spent a lot of thousand for dollars there. So, of course, we respect these groups that create that, but there is no sense to you create some beautiful thing for the people and then you come to create rain to destroy that area. Oh, it's a different point, that is difficult to believe. But I can say that the governors is not only responsible. We can unite together with the governors and try to find some solution. There is a lot of wisdom people that can create some project to reduce the impact of environmental condition. So I think this direction will be good for us to create a new planet, renew the planet, and we have it goodness for that.
Yeah.
We destroy the oceans, we are destroying the forest, we are destroying everything. Everyone knows that. Mm-hmm. It's important we make something, or do something to change that mentality. We can survive here, even with technology improvements that we need, and to reconstruct the different aspects with our concern, mm-hmm. our understand, and one good propose. Mm. This is important to know.
No, I mean, on terms of how we treat nature and the environment, I totally agree with you. Like how we treat nature, the animals, the forests and stuff, because we really don't care or just think about ourselves. Yeah, I totally agree. It's just on the whole climate thing. I think they're using the whole climate thing to push certain types of agendas, which actually makes the world not a better place, but a worse place to live in, because they just don't care.
Yes, this is a problem, because I am not a person. I am very well with my family. I receive a lot of blessings with my family. So I would like to share with the others. And I do this by my heart. That's why I'm dedicating some part of myself to the people, because I know we can change. I am one of the believers that we can change our situation. But, of course, with my optimism, that's bringing me to try to do something to concern. I don't want to change anyone. This is impossible. I would like to contribute with this kind of things that happen here, and we can avoid it, to treat people better and to have a good life in this planet. This is my commitment with this cause that I defend. And I think it's good to Dutch people also and other parts of the world that contribute with this, just to keep this beautiful you have here. I think Netherlands is very beautiful country, and I would like to keep this, because it's very important for people that live here don't have to leave their place, and to establish here with the goodness they have here, of course. And this is my situation when I talk about the environment. I think in those that live in that situation and live a comfort life, and it would not be good that they had to live it, So this is my project.
Yeah, that's the problem, though, in a country like the Netherlands. We are all too comfortable. So we don't really need to move, because we're all too comfortable, and everything is like all the dark stuff happening in other countries isn't here. So it's easy to just look another way and just don't really care, right?
Yeah.
But Netherlands is also a good example on how the country really fucked up the whole environment already, because now they're putting like the big windmills in the ocean, which fucks up the whole ocean, the dolphins and stuff, and the birds fly into so that you know what I mean, like that. So the problem is climate change, and then we come and try to put in like all those ugly windmills who actually fuck up the environment and don't really help changing anything in the climate. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. But it's necessary some concerning about because even you are in comfort here, someday. It's not I'm not telling about the long term, and not tell about medium term. I'm telling about the very next future. We can consider that all the people you have a lot of problems, and that's why I dedicated a lot of myself to try to plant the seeds that maybe can change the conception of people to go to the right step. This is important to know. We can also contribute, every little thing, single one that you can do will be very important to our planet. So you cannot do everything, but you can do a little one.
Small things.
A small thing, teeny.
Yeah. What are some stuff that we could do?
Yes, first, preservation. Well, do you know, we have 3 trillion of deficits in the forest. Like you can tell about Amazon, Malaysia, the forest is most important in the world. But there is a deficit of 3 trillion, no million, trillion of trees. And we need to make this go again. And also, other point, we can preserve a lot of our seas, because all the dash come to the sea, and the garbage was destroying. Like in Indonesia, you can see Indonesia or Philippines that has a lot of plastic inside. And this is one point that we can do by ourselves to start to preserve, and also protect our environment. We have a lot of the stocks to do. But we have a lot of points that are interesting. Create some green, different cars. Not one that has problem for the environment, but ones that you can go with it and not cause a lot of effects to the CO2 to be there and not after affect the human being. Because all the things that go up will return back, acid. and it started to warm the oceans. It started to do some points, then kill the trees. We don't know the effects of the tree, but they will be affected, So it's necessary to take some good steps, even its single steps, to go to the right direction.
And so what do you think in terms of spirituality? Because I think a lot of people lost their connection to spirituality, and that may cause them to think in the way that a lot of people in power think, like the whole robot versus machine versus man, and the whole integration in that, and also that not in touch with nature anymore. Do you think that's a big problem?
Yes, a big problem. For our planet, at least 50% spiritualized people would be good. 50 materialist, 50 spiritual. That would be good for the mankind. To create some new life, and also to restore the things that they lost a long time ago. I think it's necessary spirituality to you understand more that values or aspect that when you are too much materialist, we didn't understand. Of course, some groups or some parts of them do, but it's not all the people. And the spiritualized people is very good to them understand and to be more concerned and open the door for improvement. We're gonna be, this is for our development and to be great in this planet. It's necessary to live the life in peace.
Your new book is called Healing the World. I think this is something you notice as well, right? Like not only the planet is kind of sick, but also the people living on it.
Yes.
Like with processed food, with like a lot of illnesses going on, but also mentally, like burnouts, and it's just, I think somehow it's just unbalanced, I would say.
Yeah.
You also heal people, like you also work like with you're not only concerned on healing the world, but also healing people, right?
Yes. Until now, I have passed in my healing 5 million people, and 6% of them, 60%, had good results for the condition they have. So we try to give our heart for them to keep them in good level. And this good level, because our problem, our disease, is from psychophysics. And we have all the results and that we have is integrate to these two parts. And then we can be sick. We can be with a problem. And in our spirituality that we teach, we make people understand more how to live with the life. Not change them faith or change them for what they do or other things in life, but add some points important for them to grow and also to receive blessings that it can be good for them,
Yeah. So, but do you, what are the common things that people come to you? Like with what kind of stuff do they have?
Yeah, they have cancer, others have a lot of problems. And we try to do our best. This is, we dedicated for them in that period they came to us to try to make them feel good and also create some energetic system inside that you lead them to heal. And also, of course, respecting all the science in such aspect of. But when they come to us, is the top points, and others not. Of course, they come yearly just to have a more quality of life. Condition also, the health. And when they come to us, we just divide our happiness with them, with the energy spiritual that we integrate inside of them to make the life better for them. And also to many of them recuperate. 60% has from these 5 million people, 60% has healed. themselves and change the life, the conception about what spirituality is. This is for me important, and the other 40% is coming again because they needed this. But sometimes we have something inside ourselves that not allow us to receive that. Ego, power, greed, money. This is aspect negative of our life. You needed to lose this.
So what do you think the reason is of a lot of people being sick or unbalanced?
The most important to say to you is because 98% of people all over the world are emotional and psychic, physic. All you have here transform for your body. Even you don't know the cause, only 10% of people has problems of a genetic case.
So it's almost everything started in the mental part.
The mental part, yes. That is why we go to this target and work with them about this to transform, and they started to be good. Is one process. I had a lot of cases in all over the world that people has the last shot of the cancer in their lives, and they recovered. Even the doctor didn't understand why, because they made water exams or tests, and it has nothing there. So this is the way we work, to give people comfort to the life and also more spirituality.
So do you think that because the system that we live in now is quite materialistic, that the way that we're living at this moment is, for me it sometimes feels like that the way that we're living at this moment isn't really a human way of living. So it's quite materialistic and far away from how we're actually supposed to live, and that could also be a reason for people that that experience mental problems, that they're not feeling that well, but it's not so obvious that it's like a mental thing, but it's just because they're living in a system which isn't really serving them as a human being. They're serving the system, and that could cause a lot of imbalance and a lot of illnesses as well.
Really, I can say to you, 90% of the case is emotional problems. You cannot control sometimes. You need help. And when you cannot control that, it causes you some effects, in your body. This effect can destroy you in some part of your body, because we transform inside all the nerves you have, all the problems you have. This is energy. You cannot see, but it's energy. And this energy affects your body and goes inside yourself in some part of your organs to destroy. This is the reality. Even some people don't believe, but it's the real cause of cancer, is the real cause of other disease that destroy people all over the world. Even people say, but I am very quiet, but inside is destroying all the time. So this affect people step by step, going inside and go to the organ, and there cause a big problem. And start one situation of psychological to be pathological.
So, but then if that's true, then also we can play a big part in healing ourselves.
Yes, this is we teaching also people to heal themselves. Besides this, we have this sharing together. We start to teaching these people with good food, with balanced food, and also the habits they have different, behavior different. We can try to do the best for them. We make this teaching for them, and they can elevate the situation to be at the same balance, and get better. Most of them recognize when I start to teach them, something is changing in their lives. That's why the result was 5 million people that was my patients. They recover 60%. Is a high level. So I think it's good for them This is why the most important thing that I bring it to people to share, and I donate myself with my heart to them to cause this process to take out of this cage they live in. It's like one circle, However, it's not coordinate with the people is materialist or not, but coordinate to the mind. If your nervous system cannot be controlled, you destroy yourself. And it is clear, psychophysical.
It's as simple as that, eh?
It's simple, but as a science is studied yet, a part of them doesn't know about that situation.
No, but it isn't the easy way out, right? Because it's way easier to go to a doctor, get some pills, which assuming would make you better, which 9 out of 10 times it wouldn't. But it's the easy way out. Like what you're saying is, okay, you need to take a responsibility of your own health, of your own state of mind, which means 9 out of 10 times that you need to change something in your environment, in the way how you live, in the way how you react to other people and the people who are around you. Like you have to change probably a lot to get better. And that's the hard answer, but it's the honest answer probably, but it's the hard answer. So people want the easy way out. They want to go to see a doctor. They want to,
I think all the doctors are very important. Of course, they are very important. Science is important. But there is one thing that you must understand. You have to look for yourself, if you are prepared inside or not. That's why many cases you go to the doctor and doctor make tests, exams, different things, gives you pills to drink or many other things, but it sometimes is inside this passions. And he cannot have the result as must be, because he was not working inside. And we receive a news that he is with the cancer. He destroyed himself. We needed to lead with the cancer as a friend of ours. It's just to you learning. When you lead the cancer as your enemy, the possibility you die is very high.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
This is the fact. We go to the sense, trying to people understand, give some concern, energetic to them, turning out the situation to goodness, and also they selves can develop inside good energy, positive one, to heal and have a good life.
That is the big problem, that we see ourselves of victims of everything that happens to us, and that's the whole thing. My whole problem with like modern medicine, it's like, oh, you have an illness and we don't know why, but you have it, and now it's a big problem, and it's you against the illness. Instead of looking at it in a way like, okay, so what is this illness trying to tell me, right? What is this symptom trying to tell me about where I'm not balanced in my life at the moment, or what can I change to help this?
Yes, this is the fact. When people receive a bad news, that you are sick, you have a disease. When you receive that, cause one impact inside. And this is energy. We have our balance here. The energy, your immunity depends of that. If you are on the balance, oxygenation is very good to yourself. When you have not the balance by yourself, you start to receive gas carbonic inside. And this, it's what cancer loves, that you destroy yourself. You are sad, you are down, you get down, you are sad, weary, you have angry. This is cancer's love. They like you do that. So if you change this kind of energy inside, you will start to produce some difficulties for the cancer to go and to destroy your cells as this is destroying. And it reduces the chance, because the cancer hates oxygen. Understand? So you can produce inside yourself some good energies. It's not only to think positive, but work it out for one condition, develop inside your body some energetic situation that makes you better. This is it. It's not only to drink pills or to make some exams or to go to the doctor, make a radiation or the chemical treatment that you solve the problem. It's necessary. These passions to be at the level. The immunity goes high and the chance to be healed is 90%.
Yeah.
This is the way. But people cannot control. And they prefer go fast, quickly to the pharmacy or to drugstore, if you prefer to say this, and to drink some pills to heal themselves. They think it's a practical way, but it's not, because it is sometimes destroy yourself.
Yeah.
Of course, we need some medicine. Of course, we need some treatment, but it's necessary to work out inside, because this inside is the definition of your long life or not.
Do you think that by healing ourselves, because, yeah, like I said, and you also notice as well, there are a lot of people like not balanced at this moment. I think so that could be a sign that you're like not doing the right stuff in your life at this moment. So that causes the imbalance. And that causes, again, the illness. Do you think that by healing yourself, you eventually will heal the collective and the planet as well?
Yes, it's possible. Yeah, when you do this, you disclose out energy good for people and can receive, and also had some action side, good action side. This is a possibility to do that. You can do distance healing, you can do close healing, and people receive that energy. Of course, with the teachings, it's necessary, because for one person, that one passion, if you prefer, that is starting to live the life strange, angry, to change is difficult, because they are accustomed with that, you know, and to get the balance is a little bit difficult. That's why sometimes this treatment to have some people to aid them in such point would be good. You know, that's why we have a lot of people that contribute with the world and having some solution for this case that is difficult for private person, one person to do alone. You know, that it's necessary some therapist or some people that work with that to make it this person, this passion, to understand more and to create a new kind of energy inside to release the problems and also get where he wants to, you know?
Yeah. So it's super important to feel, not only think positive, but feel positive, actually, right?
Yes, but it's one transformation side. It's not you only feel positive that you transform you. It's necessary one transformation side. And this transformation that you lead you to goodness or to extend your life in this planet. Also, is one path. There is others included inside that add this situation. You have not addicted too much. You have not things that destroy yourself. And you have less sugar. That is most important thing, but it's difficult to go with. And also reduce the quantity of salt, other things that is involved in this treatment to people get more balance.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing what can happen when one starts to do the healing process themselves, right? Because you're not only helping yourself with healing yourself, but you're also mostly helping other people as well, because you'll be a positive influence on the people around you, be a good example, and that's really a way how you can, just by yourself, just working on yourself, make the world already a better place.
Yes, of course, it's necessary to do that because you can, by your energy, also be a good person to spread the good things, And also, if you make this therapeutic way inside, you can be sharing with others, and this is important. It's possible you have a good condition, use your own energy to produce these things. These stocks can be great.
Yeah. So there's some dark stuff which you dreamt about what could happen in the future. Is it possible even if you see those events happen in the future, does that mean that they will happen? Or does it mean that there's still a chance to turn it around?
Dependent of the things that will going on in the future. We not control this, or there is no controlling that you can say, I would like to that happen or not happen. It's a voluntarily. So it's possible, most of them sometimes change the dates, and sometimes not, but it's possible you minimize it with the attitude and actions, so it's important you do something, but it's not means you can control that situation that not happen or happen. We have no one in this planet has this power to decide, but we can reduce the impact to our life. For example, an earthquake, you cannot stop it because it is underground plates that is moving. So you cannot stop that, but you can reduce the problems aftermath.
Yeah, no, I understand. And if you look into the future, right? It was probably a difficult question with you seeing a lot of things that could happen, but do you feel positive?
Yes, I'm optimist and positive.
Yeah.
90% I'm positive. However, I send these letters to people to prepare themselves, but I'm a guy, positivism inside is very high, because I believe that we can live in peace in this planet. I believe that you can have some goodness for your family to share and have a good moments here while we can. So that high universe give us one opportunity to ourselves to live in peace here and perfect. They deliver for us one paradise. We needed to see this paradise, not the external paradise, but internal paradise. This is important to us. Still, many of the people didn't see the most important thing, that he is inside, not outside.
So that it's even that if all the stuff is happening in the world, that you can still experience, let's say, love and positive feelings inside.
Yes, there is a lot of it to share. Yeah, so the planet can change, and we can live in perfect harmony. All the countries, even the languages are different, even the things to think is different one another, but we can live in peace and create some world different, renew it for a new conscience. This is important to us, to our life future to be better, One day, this planet will not exist, but it will take a long time yet, 4,750 million years. Until there, we have a lot of things to learn.
A lot of time to change things.
A lot of time to change. It's good to us to complete our life in for good situation, and also to make a goodness, not only for us, but for others. People must divide more than. Now, I don't tell you about money, but the donation of love. This is the best way to create a new world for us. That is wonderful. And this is important.
So love is the answer?
Part of it, yes.
Okay.
But it's necessary not only love, but comprehension, harmony, other things that is positive to us. And you can live, when you get married, you live with a person that you know very little about. And with your adaptation, you can stand it for a long time living. It depends on us. We can learn one another. You can share one another. Even we are different one another, come from different families. We can share together and live forever.
Great. Thank you so much for this.
Okay, thank you.
We still have some viewer questions.
Okay.
We'll do them in a bit. I'll first close off this part, and then we'll go to the viewer questions, yes?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys for watching. If you like the podcast, please share the video on your social media accounts. That would be great. Also, subscribe on the channel where you're watching or listening this, YouTube or Spotify. Please subscribe, like the video, and drop in the comments what you think of the video and maybe of the podcast. And if you want to share a guest with us, please do. We always look at it. We are going to do the viewer questions like always, and that will be shown on That's the Spirit. So if you're watching on that channel, awesome. And if not, please move to That's the Spirit and you can check the viewer questions over there. For now, thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.